Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to talk about something kinda sorta fantastic, kinda sorta not. Depends on who you are. As you can tell, I am not sitting in my usual car. The interior does not look the same. As a matter of fact, the car I usually drive is sitting behind me. Now, that video, listen to me. That car was not my car. It was my mom's. It is my mom's still. And I bought me a brand new car. Brand new to me, anyways. It's actually used. It's got 162,000 miles on it. It's a '09 Ford Edge. And I'm here to talk about my car buying experience and kind of sort of give you a tour of my new car. Now, my car buying experience was kind of a little bit crazy. I don't know if every single person's car buying experience is the same as what mine was, but this was something that shook me to the core as a human being and as somebody who lives 45 minutes away from where this incident took place, okay? And this took place during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, it's still going on in my state. We are still under stay-home orders. It is getting crazy here, and my state's not as bad as other places, but it's still getting pretty bad. Now, I had been looking online at cars for a minute, and decided, it was time. I needed to get my own car, and I needed something that was more reliable than that. And I started looking, and I found one that I liked. It was a 2013 Ford Fusion, and it was about $7,900, around that price. And I started talking to one of the sales guys at this dealership. I will not mention the dealership as to prevent a legal issue, but started talking to the guy. I told him what I could afford and how much I had to spend on that, because I created a budget long before I even bought a car, and I had a certain amount of money that I could spend, that I had left over after all my bills were paid. Excuse me, acid reflux. And told him what I had, and he was like, alright, we can work with you, we'll get you all taken care of. Well, we're talking for a week and, about this car and about other possible cars that I may or may not be interested in. And he tells me, alright, we're going to work with you. We're going to make sure that everything comes out the way you want it. Well, I get down there. Mind you, this dealership is literally 45 minutes away from where I'm located. And I go after work. I get off work about 4:30. I get down there and the guy's like, bad news. That car did not pass inspection. I'm like, okay, whatever. And he is like, but we'll look at other cars and see if we can't find something that you like. And I'm like, okay, we can do that. No biggie. As long as it's within my budget. And I reiterated again for the umpteenth millionth time what my budget was. And we get back there to his office, and we're looking at a couple cars, and he's like, let me go get the keys to this vehicle, and we'll go take a look at it. He leaves, and I'm talking to my brother, and he comes back, and he's like, I've got the perfect car for you, give me about 5 minutes, and I'll have it back there at the back, and we can look at it. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there waiting a little bit longer. He comes back. It's like, alright, let's go take a look. I get out there, and I see a Fusion. I'm like, alright, I don't quite know what year it is. And he was like, this is the brand new 2020 Fusion. I'm like, how much is it? He's like, yes. And I'm like, that's probably going to be about a $400 payment. And I done told you I can't afford that. Like, it's going to be way out of my price range. And he's like, we'll make it work. So we go drive it around a little bit. And I'm like, alright, I like this. And we get back to his office, and he comes back, and he's like, with a $2,000 down payment, here's what it's gonna cost you. And I'm like, And I done told you I can't afford that. So we start looking at other cars. Well, he decides he's going to show me a 2014 Ford Focus. Now, mind you, the Fusion is bigger than the Focus. I can't quite tell you exactly how much bigger it is. But I go ahead and I test drive it, and I'm like, alright, I like it. And he comes back and shows me what the payments are. $250. I'm like, nah, I done told you I can't afford that. And he's like, well, your insurance would only be $50. I'm like, BS. There ain't no way the insurance is gonna only cost me $50, knowing that I pay $100 for liability on 2 cars and renter's insurance, and I'm under 25. You've got a copy of my driver's license. You know what my insurance is gonna cost me. So I decided to call my insurance company, and they're like, oh, this is gonna be about $200. I'm like, that's what I thought. Thank you. I leave, and I decide I'm not going to go back to this dealership. And I start looking in the town that I actually live in. I was told not to go to dealerships here in the town I live in because they are all crooks. And I find this '09 Edge, and I buy it. But before I buy this, I see a 2008 Ford Explorer that I liked. It was 4-wheel drive, looked to be about what I wanted in the first place. I'm like, alright, we're gonna go look at it, see what we can do. And I decide I don't like it, and I'm like, well, what about this '09 Edge that seemed to be something that I wanted? He's like, alright, we did our thing, I talked him down a little bit, and I bought it. And this is what I ended up with. An '09 Ford Edge. Now, this dealership is not without faults. They tell me that they are going to provide me with a full tank of fuel in the new vehicle and a detailing. Now, mind you, some of the dirt on the floor is what I have actually already put in here because I work outside. I am a grave digger. And during this time of year, we are weed eating and mowing. So, little bit of it is me, little bit of it is not me. Okay? We'll just show you what I'm talking about, okay? A little bit of the dirt that was in here whenever I got the vehicle, okay? That's just part of it. Now, the passenger side looks to be about the same, almost. And that I did not notice. That is disgusting. These cup holders are a little dirty, but not too bad. Mind you, I have used those before. And this here is by far the worst. Most disgusting thing I have ever seen. That's just part of it. And I'm thinking, okay, I know it's used, I know it's gonna have its thing, but you could have at least tried a little better to detail the car. Now again, mind you, I know it's used, I know it's gonna have its issues, but I did not go paying as much money as I did to have something that looks a little disgusting. Okay? All that aside, let's talk about what kind of features I like about this car, what I found that I really could care less about. So, let's get started on the tour, okay? Panoramic view of the interior. Mind you, the car is not on right now because why should I start it and run my gas out, okay? There's my mommy's car. Yes, I still live with my mom. Okay, one of my favorite features is it's got the dual air on this side and this side. And it's got the heated seats for both driver and passenger, which is really cool. And I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that button does. That's a new button. And it has info, setup, and reset that controls this little thingy right here. Message center, I guess. And then it has your traction control, your hazards. And then up here we got a 6 CD thingy with your buttons. And this car has the Bluetooth audio. What? Yeah, so it's got Bluetooth. I like it. Cool. And then I've got memory seats 1 and 2. And then it's got the automatic headlights. Then you dim a switch. And then this guy opens the trunk and actually closes it too, which I thought was pretty fancy. And then, of course, you got your normal turn signal with the rear windshield wiper. And my favorite, all-time favorite feature, which this one I will turn on the car for. See, 162,000 miles. And my favorite feature is those. A minor tour of my car. I'm not going to go into major detail of what the car looks like. If you really want to know what it looks like, leave a comment below and I will do a more in-depth tour of my brand new car. Now, again, if you want to see it, I'll show it. If you don't want to see it, we won't do that. But, like I was saying, you know, this dealership really messed up. Both dealerships. The one that I went to who wasted my time, and then the one that I bought this car from. Because, like, if you're going to detail a car, at least make it look decent. And if you're going to promise a full tank of gas, give a full tank of gas. This vehicle had less than half a tank whenever I picked it up. Not happy about that. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so that you get notified as to whenever I upload a brand new video. And enjoy life during this pandemic while it's all going on. Love your neighbors, love yourself, and love your family. Check on everybody from a distance. Keep your distance. And enjoy life. Have a safe one, guys. Bye-bye.